I don't know. The whole game's just not that much fun anymore to me. All the bugs still not fixed, disconnects. I need to just make a video about it. Every day I wake up, I'm like, I don't even play it off stream anymore. I used to play that fucking thing all the time. All the bugs, the last action thing, last action hero. The fact that every meta, and I've played card games, right? You played card games before. I'm aware of the combo, aggro, control. And I'm aware that each deck has its own, each like phase is gonna have its own meta, its own decks, its own playstyle. There's gonna be a top deck. But the decks in Teppen, paired with the last action thing and how bad the netcode is, they're not, in my opinion, they're not overpowered because the developers are smart. And they're like, okay, we're gonna overtune this to sell more card packs. Right? Like League of Legends, hey, this hero is just flat out stronger, so people buy them, and then we'll nerf it. Like, these are completely fucking busted. Cards don't work like they're written. I made a post about the possessing malice thing, duplicating, and people are like, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, but that's not the card, that's not what the card says. It doesn't say it makes a copy. Everyone's just okay with this? I don't know. I just haven't been enjoying it. So I said fuck it. Until I'm want to play it again, I'm not going to play it anymore. And right now, I just want to waste my life away trying to fucking go get these goddamn troll charms. Oh no. Wipe. I don't necessarily mean the disconnects, because I haven't really had any disconnects too much anymore. I mean, like, the latency. Like, I play a unit and it doesn't block it. Or some other nonsense like that. Not related to insane human reaction speeds to hero power something before it blocks. And like, you play a card and it just floats and it doesn't do anything. That's just annoying. You want to do a real-time card game, you don't have the servers to support the actual real-time element of it. Parse out packets, GGPO, roll back, figure out, okay, what was the actual proper order of this stuff. I block at the last second, and you play an action card at the last second. We'll have the minion hit you, and then you'll play your unit, and then the action will go. Like, alright, dog. I think it's better than the cancer that Nergigante and that Rathalos deck. I think it's better. It's more fun to play that. Like, you at least you get options to do. Okay, I'm gonna try this way and then this way, but I don't know. But a couple of things bother me. Like, I played the game 5 hours a day every single day, and then I played off stream. So, like 5 to 14 hours a day, maybe. And only being able to buy like an extra 2 packs, because I did maybe a little bit more dailies than everybody else. Like, that didn't feel too great. I really thought, especially after spending money on the $80 card pack and not using all of it, and basically not buying any cards since halfway through Season 1. Okay, I play this game a lot. I've done all the daily quests, I've done the Season Pass quests. I did all of these and all of this and all of that. I should be like, I should have a nice war chest. And all the new players in Day and Night got 10 packs or whatever, and I got 12. So that felt like, okay, it's a little... It's not being super respectful of my time and the amount of time I put into it. I mean, I get it, you want to sell packs, but also... And Hearthstone even gives you 10 gold or whatever for every 3 matches or something weird like that. So that coupled with... Still, I just don't think... Maybe I was playing with rose... fucking lensed goggles. I just don't like that last second stuff. Especially if you don't have a server that can support it. I don't think it makes the game better. I don't think the methodology should be where everything is done at the last second to completely eliminate or negate your opponent's chance to even read the card, much less respond to it, before something has happened on the board. I killed the unit, I blocked the unit, then you hero power a 2-1. That doesn't feel super good. And it sucks when your opponent does it to you. Like, yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. Okay, I baited out a hero art, but like, alright. That, and then with how busted every meta gets, and in my opinion, it's not a, okay, we're gonna slightly over-tweak Nergigante, so people buy Nergigante cards. We're gonna slightly tweak combo, so people play the new red cards we released with Jill. We're gonna slightly tweak some of the new Day of Malice stuff to encourage people to buy it, like slowly power creep it. It's like from 0 to 100. And it just seems like kind of you don't playtest it enough. You're like more incompetent than marketing geniuses. I don't really know. I feel a certain way about it, so I'm trying to work backwards and like figure out why I feel the way I do. All I know is I don't play the game off stream anymore, and I don't really enjoy it as much as I used to. What the fuck is this? That's Teppen. I don't think the game is horrible. I'm glad people are playing it. I like the esports, and there's more sponsored people playing it and stuff, but I don't know. For me, I'm not enjoying it as much as I used to. Then I'll totally admit, maybe it's just me, right? Maybe I'm the one with the latency issues and no one else seems to be having them. Or they're completely mitigated and they worked on them. But it is something that it does bother me, at least. No, I got the 10 packs. What I'm saying is, it bothered me. It bothered me that I played the game anywhere from 5 to 14 hours a day. I'd play it a lot. Right after the stream, I'd keep going, and then I'd be like, why am I not still streaming this game? Oh yeah, because I'm sitting in my bathtub just playing. It bothered me that I had played the game 5 to 15 hours a day since release. And I only felt like, and I hadn't bought any card packs, and I had spent 80 bucks, and I bought the season pass and did all the challenges and stuff. It bothered me, and I don't really know how to quantify it, and for everybody else it's going to be different, right? Your thresholds for that stuff. It bothered me that I felt like I'd put so much time into the game, and when Day of Nightmares came out and everybody got their 10 packs, and I got my 10 packs, all that extra time only got me 2 more packs. So that, like, okay, I can't even build the Morrigan deck I want unless I start reaping all these other cards. But I thought playing the game 5 to 14 hours a day for fucking 3 months, 2 months, a month and a half. I don't remember. I'd have more than 2 booster packs to show for it. It's hard to quantify. That's like, again, it's me like feeling like I'm not enjoying it, so I'm kind of working backwards, like trying to figure out exactly what happened. All I know is I'd rather wand this Thistlefur Den Watcher. Yeah, like, the game cannot have had enough or good enough beta testers. Completely agree. I'm not sure where you read that or what post it was. I'm not super active on that stuff, but that answers so many questions. It's clear that they didn't reach out to who streams this game? Me, Time Rocker, Iowa, Asian, fucking Waters, like rank 1. It's clear they didn't reach out to any of us, at least not me, to look at or playtest any of the cards for Day of Nightmares. Like, meaning the people who beta tested the game had a completely skewed idea of what was going to be good. They clearly didn't put together a Nergigante deck that was that aggressive. And that's just down to maybe not having a large enough player base. When you can't playtest everything, they definitely don't have the budget that Hearthstone does. But, ooh. Oh, okay, so they're little treasure chests. Alright, I gotta make space. Let's get rid of this. Oh, I gotta use this Fuken thing. Damn it. Alright. Whatever. Soul Shard bag. I can't put anything else in here. We'll just get this out of my inventory. And then I kind of like, okay, Shinku I think is just better than this. But they didn't playtest Nergigante the way it was actually played, or even close to the way it was actually played. It's clear that they didn't 5D chess Rathalos combo. Okay, we're gonna super overtune this so people buy new packs with Jill. It's clear they didn't do that with the Day of Nightmare stuff. Okay, we're gonna break these cards so Wesker's like super overtuned so people spend a lot on some of the new rares and stuff. Like, the cards don't do what's written on them, and they're completely busted. I don't know. Again, it's hard for me to quantify. It's just like, that's just how I feel. I feel like it's a free-to-play mobile game, as opposed to like Hearthstone or something. Okay, there's a lot of polish here. There's a lot of growth that's happening here. No, this is, yep. This is a free-to-play mobile game, and everything's busted. Every patch is busted. Gotta keep spending a lot of money. But I do agree with you, right? I hadn't thought about that, but I do agree that the core was kind of free in that Chronicles were brand new, story mode was brand new, all of the heroes were getting leveled up from 1 to whatever 50. Season Pass gave you double experience, and as the heroes leveled up, you got new hero arts to try. And they got you new cards, right? You moved from the basic cards to different stuff. So a lot of that was you. If a new player started in Day of Nightmares, would they have a similar experience to what we got Season 1? I hadn't thought about that. But to me, it still feels like I thought I would be a lot further along than I was. And I crafted some legendaries because people would keep posting. I thought there was like some huge demon here. I kept making different decks and crafting a few legendaries, but the truth is, like, I spent $80 on packs. I had most of everything. Or eventually we just got them through random drops or whatever. Whatever. Shadow trance this guy. I don't need to. I feel like all that time is wasted. And I don't know how else to word it except like the game. I'm not feeling like the game is being respectful of the amount of time I'm putting in. I don't feel like I'm getting enough Zenny or enough souls. And that has to do with like sure. And that has to do with as the card pool grows, right? You're going to use more and more legendaries, more and more epic cards. So just naturally the trend would be for decks to increase in cost. But that paired with the, like, in my opinion, the horrendous last second, everything last second, hero art last second, play creatures last second, action phase last second, and things aren't queued up. The only reason Rathalos can really beat Wesker, especially my version of Wesker with 20 destruction spells, is because you play a hero art at the last second and the animation fucks up something. Like, it's part of the game, I get it, you gotta maximize it, but like, that's maybe not the kind of game that I enjoy. I would much rather prefer like a turn-based type thing. Especially if the servers can't support it. Especially if your game design is when an animation is played, when it holy fuck. Okay, they're supposed to ambush us, okay. Especially when the theory is, okay, we're gonna play a cinema. We're gonna take control away from the player and not let whatever action they were about to do resolve. I think the problem is that the fighting game community looks at combo and thinks my cards do twice as much for this little. Well, the CCG immediately saw Shinku is better because removal is one of the things you want readily available. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a continuable system. I think it's time to grow, but it needs to do a lot still. A real rep if you wanted to. Probably get every core card game in the basic core seasons. I think the idea is worth exploring. I think board meeting, pitch meeting, hey, let's make a card game that's like a fighting game with real-time elements to it. That idea is completely worth exploring. There's a lot of cool gameplay you can do there. Like, rush doesn't mean it avoids summoning sickness and it can tap the same turn. Rush literally means like it's gonna attack you faster. Not letting the players respond to stuff because something happened too fast is like part of a fighting game. Like I played a rush unit on the top, and then while you're like mentally focused on that, I played like Fate Defying Ryu on the bottom, right? And kind of like did that. That gameplay space, those ideas are worth exploring. That can lead to a lot of cool stuff. The problem is when you put it in competitive CCG players, the FEDC rank gameplay is not at all what it is BA and Champion. The gameplay, right? If you did the Grand Prix and you got matched up against a D rank player, it's like, oh yeah, this is how we used to play, where you just play a unit, you would do a hero power, you'd play an action while the arrows like just started or where it was halfway through. You had more than enough time to do everything. You could read every card. Nothing was like super explosive. And I think those systems work fine in that context. In my opinion, I don't think they work that well when you try and min-max it, which is what you should do as a player of it. You want to use every possible mechanic to win. But looking at it from a whole, like, okay, everything is done at the last second. Is this actually the game that you wanted to design, where players can't read cards, can't make informed decisions? You just throw your hero power out, like, and fingers crossed, hope that you get good value. Nope, okay, I got jebaited by a 3-1 to like sneak this guy through to deal damage, and you did something. Okay, does that actually like make the game better? Maybe that's what they wanted. Maybe it's not. To me, it just seems bad. And there's so many good ideas that you guys have come up with, and Reddit has come up with. Some type of queue system, some type of buffer system, some type of when the unit gets so far on the track, you can't do certain things to it. If the unit passes 75% of the way through on the track, you're no longer able to do this or do this. Or one of the ideas I had, when it gets to the end, in some way, shape, or form, have it sync up on both players' ends, because I still get hit by units. To me, it doesn't look like they made it to the end of the line, but okay. That's Teppen. I mean, that's why I played card games in the beginning, was I liked kind of just sitting back, looking at exactly what my opponent was going to do, thinking through what my turn was, trying to min-max everything, trying to beat my opponent because I outthought him or baited him. That's why I played CCGs. Thinking through my turn, thinking through what they could do on their turn. I think that space is worth exploring. I know I'm just reiterating myself. I think that space is worth exploring. I just think they went in a wrong direction with some of the choices they made on how to resolve situations or how things should look. Maybe that's what they want. But the new season, I think, is better. Whatever, the card packs aren't released with the whatever. The new season, I think, is better than the previous ones. Oh, all right. Rest in peace, Bear. You finally died, I guess. In that you can actually play. It feels like you can play a variety of champions and characters, and one deck isn't super oppressive. I don't necessarily think that's bad for card game design to have one like. This is clearly the alpha big dick deck. If you don't have a way to deal with Rathalos, like, don't even bother queuing up. I don't necessarily think that's bad. I think it's bad when even if you bring options to deal with Rathalos, you can't play them because the animation is there. Like, green has ways to deal with that. Let me just seal it. Bring it back down to size. I got bigger units than you. Your combo unit only has X amount of health, so yeah, you'll take my guy, but hopefully I'll block your guy, and then I'll yawn out another big one. I don't think it's bad that, okay, if you want to be competitive, you do need some kind of answer to Ouroboros. That's the best deck. Like, unless you're comfortable with fingers crossed rolling the dice and hoping you never queue into Wesker, like, you need to bring some kind of answer. You got to change your deck slightly to do it. It's part of the game, and the meta evolves as the decks evolve. You gotta. Ooh. The big problem is the fighting game community usually trying to balance itself, whereas the collectible card game community has one goal in playing it, breaking it as much as humanly possible. It's also me as a card game player. I literally am used to things just being broken. I don't think, I don't know if that's really the issue. Like, fighting game players will play the best character, use the best abilities. Like, you had custom combos in Street Fighter 2. You had, like, perfect blocks. You had some other weird things, and people would like, okay, I'm never gonna do this technique. Like a fucking goddamn anime. When they get in the actual tournament in the final round, then they tell everybody, "Oh, I'm actually right-handed." That type of stuff has happened. Tier lists, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. All right, Chun, then Ken, Chun, then Yun, then Ken, then everybody else is way down there. So in that, I think like they just don't receive patches as much as we do or did, right? You played Street Fighter 2. You played Street Fighter 2, and maybe once every few years you got, here's a hyper fighting version, here's whatever it is. Whereas Magic had new sets and new sets and new sets. I think there is something to say, like, one, this game doesn't have as much money as Hearthstone does. Doesn't have anywhere near the player base that Hearthstone does. So it is possible that Nergigante wasn't as broken, like Season 1, wasn't as broken as everyone thought. We just didn't have enough time. There wasn't enough play. No, get rid of this. There wasn't enough players play testing different ideas. Wait, where'd he go? Play testing enough ideas and different decks, coming up with weird things. Like there's a lot of, because there's not a lot of players, there's a lot more groupthink that happens in the Teppen Reddit. Like Iowa posted, here's the new meta decks, and then everyone like just goes along with it. Okay. There's a lot more groupthink that happens, and it could have been possible that someone came up with, hey, here's a X deck that completely shits on Nergigante because of this mechanic and these cards and this weird thing. And then all of a sudden Nergigante's not that much of a problem anymore. I don't know really where I was going with that. Like, I don't think fighting game players are like focused on one thing and CCGs are focused on another thing. I think the fact that we get patches and updates inherently is better. So I'm glad that Street Fighter 5 and whatever else, they get patches and updates. I think that makes the game just better than like, here's the new arcade board to slot in once every 2 years. I just think the only people they had play the game, I was trying to think, where the fuck was I going with that? The only people they had play test the game were like, you never saw, I'm just trying to think of who Season 1 Hearthstone people were, because that's all I've watched. You didn't see Kriparian sponsored Teppen stream. You didn't see, okay, run this way please, for the love of God. Pat, you gotta stay where you're at. I need to unsummon you actually, so you're gonna fucking get me killed. You didn't see Raynad or whatever sponsored stream, This Guy's Toast sponsored stream, like card game player ass card games. You saw Jay Wong and Chris G and K Brad, Daigo. Like, yeah, those are big names. I get why you're doing it marketing wise. But does fucking Daigo play card games? What's his resume? Like, I get he can get people hyped for it, but if that's the people that you're having playtest the game, bro, you got a problem on your hands. Fucking hell. Also, give you one thing. During the core era, I thought about spending money on packs when Data was released, but as soon as I did something, just felt wrong about spending money on it. So much so that I'd rather go back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or DBSCG? Dragon Balls? It's interesting because I don't know where it went to the point where I refused to do so anyways. Like before, I'd say, well, unless Regulus charges fixed, then probably more. Yeah, like, and that's kind of how I feel. Like, I don't know how to. I feel like some of the arguments I came up with are okay. They make sense. But like emotionally, it felt off. And then I started working backwards to like justify it. But it was just Something about this feels weird. I thought I'd have more packs. I don't know how to justify it. I don't know how to quantify it. I don't know really how to explain it in a way that makes sense to other people. Thought this dude was T-posing for a second. It just... something feels wrong to me. I feel like I don't want to spend any more money. I feel like I don't want to play anymore. Not entirely sure how to vocalize it in a compelling argument that makes sense, but something feels different here. I mean, when I first started streaming, like literally when people would ask me, should I get the season pass? Everybody, oh my god, it's a day away from the new season. Yes, get the season pass. Like, it was such good value. It was so cheap. You leveled up all your characters super fast. You got the discount on the card pack. You got so much money and Zenny for it. I couldn't say enough good things about the game. And then, yeah, for me, it was like, well, I mean, I have the souls because I bought the souls, or the crystals, whatever, last season. Do I get the season pass? I guess. I mean, I got it here. If I play enough, I'll get more to it. I don't really want to get it. Just, whatever. Like, that kind of laissez-faire. I don't want to spend any money in the... hashtag not my economy. Okay, let me figure out what I'm doing.